This is Sony's latest telephoto longboy, the 400 to 800mm f6.3 to f8. 800mm on full frame, 1200mm on APS-C, and 2400 on a 2x teleconverter. Wow, 2400. That's the longest thing I've held.
Anyways, image quality.
Of course, this lens is better suited for sports, wildlife, and some serious PI work.
Ew, creepy.
Relax, it stands for peacock inspection. Ah, yeah, that's the stuff. Absolutely stunning. Kind of looks like a little baseball glove. But the eyes, incredibly sharp.
He's so cute.
And there are just some shots that you really cannot get without a longboy. Any closer, you'll run the risk of scaring the animals away. But from a distance, with this kind of reach, you're not gonna be disturbing their peace. Just make sure to keep the focus point small and precise for the fastest and most accurate autofocus. Perhaps it's a little too good. Unlike this squirrel here, my A6700 already found these nuts.
Potential pitfalls.
Now, despite this being a massive 400 to 800mm lens, the zoom here has an incredibly short throw. You won't be rotating much to get max distance. But of course, this is a variable aperture lens. Right around 483mm, we see our first aperture change from 6.3 to 7.1. And right around 597mm, we're forced into f8, just a little before reaching half zoom. With a 2x teleconverter, not only are you getting twice the reach, but you're also dropping your aperture down like crazy. f16.
Ugh.
I saw that flinch, Michael. I'll say it again. f16.
Ah.
But if you want the longest reach with the best image quality from a Sony system, this combo right here is it. So you will need plenty of light when using this lens. Just make sure to keep your sensor and your lens clean, or else those dust spots will crop up in your photos.
Handheld stabilization.
Now the average weight of a peacock is about 5,000 grams. Luckily this lens here is about half of that. Oh, this weighs 2,475 grams, and even though it's half the weight of my peacock over here, it's not a fun casual lens to bring around on a Sunday afternoon. It's more for work or if you know there's that ultra specific shot you want to take. This thing busted my scale. However, it's shocking that the stability that I'm getting while hand-holding this behemoth of a setup is actually quite steady, thanks to the built-in lens stabilization and the 8 stops of in-body image stabilization inside of the A7R5.
Is the A7R5 with active stabilization? I'm shaky, but I'm getting some pretty good results.
However, I definitely struggle to keep the frame while using the lens with the A6700, which only has 5 stops of in-body image stabilization. So if you are planning on using this lens handheld, it's best to use the higher end full frame cameras with 7 to 8 stops of in-body image stabilization. But if your stamina's weak like mine, something as big and heavy and long as this, you might not last all day.
Yeah, your stamina's pretty weak.
That's not what I'm talking about. So it's still highly recommended to bring a monopod or tripod along. Now the tripod mount here isn't removable unlike some of the other teles that we've seen from Sony. Rather, it's reinforced for the sake of extra security. The collar though is rotatable.
Okay, Jason, just how big is it?
If you're at home and an avid Coke drinker like me, this thing's approximately 3 Coke cans long, and with the hood on, it's another can on top of that. Filter diameter is 105mm with the hood giving access for filter rotations. And just in case you're curious, here's what it would look like in a Peak Design Everyday Zip Backpack 20L.
Price and the Vong opinion.
So what's this gonna run you? $2,899. Oof, pricey son of a gun. So unless you know you'll be using it a lot, probably better just to rent it for that one-off gig. That's what I'm gonna do in the future. Now, I was personally hoping for a 100 to 400 G Master Mark II refresh with a significant weight reduction, but hey, an 800mm is definitely needed. Glad this exists, let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and stick around to listen to what my sponsor Squarespace has to say. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform to create beautiful websites. No coding knowledge needed. Just simply choose from their many templates and designs. Perfect for photographers and online shop owners. Use my link down below for a 14-day free trial, and when you're ready to launch, you can use my code JASONVONG to save 10% off your first purchase of your website or domain. There's going to be a full moon this Wednesday. I'm hoping to capture it with this lens, so... Oh yeah, that's the stuff.